Hopefully.
How it goes.
Oh
So
my
Ben,
Nick, you were
you're also.
muted.
Oh no, was I?
Yeah, but
Is it good now?
yeah, we're all set.
Okay. Well, let's
Let's redo
restart
that
it.
intro.
Yeah, let's
Redo that
redo
intro.
it. Yeah. Hey, anyways, we are 14 minutes late. Technical difficulties, of course. It wouldn't be a Staggered Santa show without a couple technical difficulties. Anyways, this is your post World show. I think episode 246 or 247, somewhere in there. Matt and Josh are both out camping. Technically, Ben is out camping too, but Ben has
Yes, that's why
Starlink
it's
and
so
some service.
discombobulated.
Yeah, it's been a fun one. Anyways, World Championships just happened for the first time ever overseas, out in Finland, and there's a ton to talk about. Realistically, we're going to try to hammer all the key points to it. First and foremost, 2 one-time world champions in the FPO division and MPO division, Mixed Pro Open. So, Ben, I'll let you run through MPO because your boss won it, so might as
My
well let you talk
boss.
about it, right?
Yeah. So MPO, I mean, there's a lot to go over. Let me just pull up the scores real quick just so I can refresh my memory. But yeah, wasn't first off, I want to say it was a fantastic world. Just seeing the crowd, people are saying 10,000 people, like absolutely insane. I think it really kind of gave the fans what they wanted, and I'm very happy that it went over to Europe. Nick and Men show. This is the first Nick and Men show ever, so that was pretty awesome. We had round one, Sullivan Tipton leading the charge, which Sully has been on fire this year. I mean, like we have to see his average, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's like top 10 DGPT player right now, like standings wise, points wise, because he's been doing an incredible tournament in, tournament out. Round two was, of course, when many pros consider the best round of all time, with Ezra Aderhold at Tampere shooting 14 down, which was only 1094 rated. I mean, we can maybe get into that a little later. Ratings. People saying that's the best round of all time, and it not being as good as 1100. So, yeah. And then round three. I mean, kind of Ezra let people catch up. Nothing too much to say about that. It was just like he let people catch up, and there we go. I fixed your name tag. That was bugging me.
Oh, you're good.
he let people catch up, and that's when it's close. Round four. This is when we had AB start to get into the mix a little. Course record at the Beast. So we had 2 course records on 2 different courses. I mean, that goes to show you just how crazy disc golf is becoming and how just elite these players are. I'm like 15, 14 now. But that's what I'm saying. Let me check Anthony's his 15 down at the Beast was 1105.
1105.
Wait, yeah. So I didn't even realize that. That's insane. I feel like the Beast is way easier in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, now the part you all have been waiting for. Spoilers, click off if you don't want to hear this. But yeah, we had my boss, Gannon Burr, take it down in I wouldn't want to say dramatic fashion. It's like I think by hole 15, it's hole 16, really. Once he stuck that island, got the bird, I'm like, there's no way he doesn't win after that. He made it a little close on 17, got the bogey, which was like, oh.
Yeah.
But, it was like 18. That's bread and butter for him all day. 1-time world champion. It was just awesome to see. He basically just stayed consistent and didn't do anything too crazy, and yeah, and that's how he won. It was kind of like I honestly by hole 12 I was feeling like it's pretty clear that Gans was gonna win. The dynamic was shifting. I think AB like double bogeyed at some point or tripled. Yeah, he triple bogeyed.
Tripled on 16,
and then 15 he bogeyed. That was so it was 15. That was when I was like, ooh, because he bogeyed and Gannon landed in bounds. So that was like, oh, like that could be big. So yeah, all in all, it was an awesome Worlds on the MPO side, and on the FPO side, it was honestly a little crazier, a little more dramatic.
Yeah. Staying on to the MPO side of things, I mean, yeah, we saw Ezra absolutely obliterate the monster. Stupidly impressive. When I was watching the coverage of it, it just felt like every single shot he threw was just pure. Putts were just confident, felt like dead center. He was on one, right? And then getting back over onto the Beast, this is where, and just kind of harping on, obviously an incredible round 4 by AB, shooting 15 down, and that was with a bogey on, once again, 15, and a par on 18. But looking at the final round, I think the turning point, like you said, Ben, was around 15. Gannon realistically just had to shoot, 5 or 6 down in the front, which he did shoot 5 down. And then on the back 9, I feel like for them, it's a little bit more scoreable. Minus holes 15 and 17 are pretty tough. But when he threw the Spike Geyser and landed it long of the pin, but inbounds, that was huge. Kind of surprised me. AB went with a little bit more of a finesse line to it. And Ezra went a beautiful line just straight at it. It just drifted a little bit too far. He went OB as well. Yeah, which was insanely impressive because it was just kind of like a little flip up hyzer, pretty straight at it. That was huge. But yeah, and then it did get really, really interesting over on 17 because while Gannon threw OB on 17, Nicklaus was putting for birdie on 18. It was like a 60, 70 footer. He went off of the bottom of the scoreboard, came back and bounced. So he had a long jump putt. And so realistically, he makes that birdie. We have a playoff on 18, right? Unless Gannon goes and gets the birdie. But for the most part, it was a pretty intense moment when he had thrown OB. It was kind of like, ooh, this could actually get very interesting. Nicklaus airballed it high, which to give it a run, it's an elevated basket. OB behind it looks, 10 or 15 feet behind it, really throwing it out of bounds or putting it out of bounds. OB, and, unfortunately got the bogey up. But on 17 to force the playoff. By that point, Ezra, AB, Sullivan, they were all out of it. Sullivan had a good start to the final round. I mean, he was 4 down through 4. He was 6 down through 9. So about as good as you can get. And then, unfortunately, he had a bogey on 10 and a double bogey on 11. So not the cleanest start to the back 9 that you want, especially at the World Championships. So unfortunately, that kind of brought him out of it. But yeah, Gannon winning it, this was kind of something that we figured was going to happen sooner rather than later. The first ever Discmania World Champion, like sponsored by Discmania, winning for Discmania, I thought was pretty awesome on the MPO side of things. And then going over to FPO, I got to watch a little bit. I definitely could not wake up every single day at 2:30 in the morning. I was actually in the Outer Banks on a small little vacation.
Ooh.
And so, we would hang out till 10, 11, 12 in the morning. And then by that point, I was like, yeah, I can't just take a power nap and try to wake up. I was waking up, as soon as MPO was getting off. I got to watch pretty much all the MPO feature card and lead card coverage throughout the week, which was awesome. And it's 5 days of disc golf. It was pretty sweet. It was just something while we were at brunch in the morning, I got to watch disc golf, keep it on the whole time, listen to it, and it was pretty great. But on the FPO side of things, we have another one-time world champion in the FPO division with Owen Scoggins. Now, supposedly, she's like a 5-time Masters champion, FP40.
Yeah, tons of Masters.
Which I didn't realize it was 5 of them, but
me neither.
I thought I saw that earlier, and I could totally be wrong about that. But anyways, multiple FP40 world champion, and then now a one-time FPO world champion, and it's such a cool moment. It just, we could go back into the pop drop lock and see how many picked her to win it, and I bet you there's not too many. No slight against Owen. She comes out and wins tournaments. Yeah, she comes out and wins tournaments that we never expect her to win. Like, she's won D-Glow before. That's one of like the last tournaments that would ever pick her to win is at the Toboggan, and she won it. She won in a dominant fashion. And same thing with Worlds. She just played incredible. She stayed in it. And it was just an intense moment. But one of the biggest stories out of it is Laida Letomaki, the 15-year-old Finn, who blew everyone's expectations out of the water. She got second place at Worlds in front of the home crowd, essentially.
Yeah.
And everyone talks about, laying up at the putt on the playoff hole, stuff like that. She had posted about it. You could probably find the post somewhere on Facebook, just screenshot it and put up there. But pretty much saying she wasn't putting great all day. She put herself in an opportunity to where if Owen had missed it, then they're playing another playoff hole. But look, she did what she thought was right at the time, and Owen made a great putt. And honest to goodness, her putt wasn't even that far, but if you watch the coverage of it, it barely squeaked in on the left side. You could tell that she was nervous about it, and this is Owen we're talking about. You could tell that she was nervous about it, and honestly, it barely went in. So had she missed that putt, boom, we have another playoff hole. Once again, it's another scenario where it's 18 on repeat. This whole 18, though, is a little bit more intense than we saw a couple weeks back when Ben Callaway and Jakub went to a playoff.
Yes.
But still, yes. Yeah, a little bit more intense for this one. A lot more OB surrounding and harder shots to get up there. But then Ella Hansen, this has to be arguably the best round ever at Worlds for the FPO division. 1057 rated, 12 down, just absolutely obliterated the field. I mean, she beat the field in the final round by 7 strokes, which, is absolutely insane. It's awesome. It was great to watch highlights. It bumped her all the way up to tied for third place. She was only 1 stroke back, and she bogeyed hole 18. Had she just parred that, she was probably going for the birdie, but I mean, had she just parred that, she's in a 3-way playoff. Had she birdied it, she wins Worlds. An absolutely filthy final round. And I thought that was going to be one of the highest FBO rated rounds ever, just because of the situation that I was, but unfortunately it's not. But I think that's arguably one of the best FBO rounds, especially at the World Championships, that's ever come about. Henna Blumroos, this is something we all talked about in our group chat. We saw some putting yips out there. We saw some grip yips out there. Only shot 1 down the final round. Started off really, really well throughout the front 9, 4 down. But then the back 9 shot 3 over, leading to a 1 down overall score on the final round. Not good enough to get into the playoff, 1 stroke back. And then after there, it kind of falls off. You got 4 strokes back with Anna Sten. Silver Saarinen, who was my pick, she shot even par, so she was 10 strokes back of the lead. Evelina had a 5 over final round, but this is one that I think is great to talk about. Is the first day of the World Championships, Missy Gannon took a 14 on hole 16.
Insane, yeah.
And she still got top 10. She shot 5 down the final round to move her up into tied for 8th place with Hall and Hanley. And I think that is pretty spectacular in and of itself to jump all the way back up. She was last place.
The most entertaining thing. I mean, look at the final round. I felt like I think it's Ida. I think it's IIDA, but it might be.
Yeah,
because it is a capital I that looks like an L.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're right. You're right.
I think it's Ida, but yeah,
sorry, I'm ignorant.
She had it in the bag, but then Ella Hansen out of left field is like, oh wait, could Ella win Worlds? And then Henna Blomroos is like, okay, Henna's got this. Takes on 17, misses a 19 footer for par. I think it was 17 or maybe a hole before that. Mm-hmm. And then bogeys. And then it's like, ooh. And then she threw on 18 or something like that. Ida. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, Ida.
So it was there's 4 people that you had no idea who was going to win up until Owen tapped in her putt. Actually, you know what's crazy? I literally didn't even know who was going to win after Owen tapped in her putt because I was confused. Yeah. I thought Ida laid up because to go to a playoff, so I'm thinking, all right, Owen makes this playoff. She makes it, is on the ground celebrating, and I'm like, it's like, wait, what? So that's how crazy it was that round. That those final few holes is like, I had no idea who was gonna win. I thought it was gonna be Ida, but turns out no.
Yeah, she was close. I mean, shoot, don't be surprised if for the next few years she is a 1-time world champion. I mean, she played incredible, great to watch, and to be able to put up with that much pressure as a 15-year-old. And she's pretty much got the whole junior division backing her. Most of the posts that I saw on Instagram and stuff like that, friends, parents, posting saying, best of luck to her and everything like that. But one of the other big storylines is Kristin Lott.
Oh yeah,
DNF. Kind of a favorite pick probably for most people. I think, is it 2 out of 4 or 3 out of 4 on the show that picked her to win it? So dealing with a ton of anxiety right now, mental health issues. I guess you kind of equate that into it. Physical injuries going along with it. Obviously wish her the best. Don't want to harp on it too much. And I actually applaud the reporter who was doing an interview with her after one of the rounds. And she was just talking about how she can barely sleep right now. She's having so much anxiety. And it kind of kept the interview short and sweet, not to harp on it too much, which, just coming from our standpoint, I can appreciate that a ton. And but yeah, that was a big story that was going around. And unfortunate. Hopefully, honest to goodness, I think she should take some time off before coming back to the U.S. and finishing out the year strong. I wish her nothing but the best. Her and Silver are two of the nicest people that I know. So obviously, wishing them nothing but the best.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll read what she said on Instagram just for anyone out of the loop. She said, or ChatGPT said, no, I'm just kidding. that's a running joke on our show.
Yeah, we make a joke about it.
Some of her quotes sound like chat, but this is definitely from her. After long deliberation, I decided not to continue playing in the World Championships. It is not a choice I made lightly, but it came from a place of true longing of needing time off. This hasn't happened overnight. I've been putting a Band-Aid to this part of myself for years, pushing forward, assuming that this feeling would fade away. But with all the hardships I've faced over the past 2 months, this Band-Aid has been ripped off, showing that this part of me needs my attention. It might just be the most loving choice I've made in my career. Thank you for all the overflowing love I've received. I see you and love you too, and I'm rooting for all the players in the tournament for this historic event to have a truly amazing final day.
Yeah.
So,
that's what we have to say about that.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about it except wish her the best. Shout out to UC and his team. Arguably, I don't even think arguably, but the best worlds that I think people can talk about when it came to spectator revenue, I guess. I mean, just how many spectators were there, how many people were probably watching online throughout the Disc Golf Network, everything like that. It was just a spectacular event all across the board. 2 incredible courses. I think we've slowly in disc golf kind of slightly outgrown the Beast. We've kind of seen the same course over the last few years with the Beast. But it is a pro favorite. The pros actually love going over there and playing it, and then adding in the Monster to how amazing that place looked. Man, they filmed it really, really well. I loved where the catch cams were, loved where just positioning of everything, watching players fillet lines throughout the woods is, to me, that's what disc golf is all about. So shoot, give me 5 rounds of the Monster and I'd be totally content. But yeah, it was awesome. His team did a spectacular job. They went above and beyond, I think, for pretty much everything. I mean, even just a massive bridge that the players had to go from the 18th green over to the scorecard tent. They had a huge metal bridge that they were able to kind of walk over everyone and then all the spectators underneath them. So I thought that was pretty cool. There's something about that event every single year that just kind of raises the bar for disc golf in general. I think every event should kind of strive to be what they do. And UC is one of the main people behind that. So shout out to him for all that. It was pretty cool to see.
That was his farewell. Farewell to or not disc golf, the Beast.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought that was a pretty damn good job with it. He had a great picture and just saying we did it, him and Gannon kind of just hugging it out on the 18th green. It was pretty awesome. I mean, like we said earlier, we kind of knew eventually Gannon was going to win this. He's the number 1 player in the year for the last couple of years. And it was his moment to shine, right? Mm-hmm. And kind of looking at the scores, going back to the MPO really quick, there's a ton of great players that did well, right? Paul Macbeth had a 12 down final round to jump up and tied for 8th place. A lot of great players in the top 10. Nicolas Antela, obviously in the top 3 podium, kind of the Finnish wonder, the Finnish cowboy. But Gannon's 5 rounds, he didn't shoot a single round over 1070 rated. He went 1066, 1054, 1052, 1068, 1061. So obviously played really, really consistent the whole time, but never had a pop-off round. And I think the final round at the Beast was his worst round ever in the few times that he's played it, but I think that was a 9-down final round.
I don't think he ever shot below 10.
Below 10, yeah. So he's never shot below double digits until the final round, and that's all he needed to do. Like, realistically, make that round 4. He threw a great drive in 18. He's probably running the green.
Yeah,
and then
he
more than likely he's probably birdieing it, right? Yeah. So he was able to play for the par though, which was pretty great. I can't imagine how nerve-wracking that upshot was. He was kind of debating whether he was going to throw it, whether he was going to jump it. Yeah, I don't think he really looked at the forehand much with it, but yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on in his mind right there. And then just to capitalize on it, some notables. Go ahead.
I was gonna say what's crazy. I didn't even realize this. Pat McMahon said this in the chat to go back on our FPO because in our personal group chat, I expressed some like personal frustration because I have a bet with Matt for $40 if Henna ever wins, and it's just I was just like it's just crazy. Like it's just crazy. But here's a stat: Henna missed 27 inside the circle. Evelina missed 37 inside the circle putts. And Owen missed 4.
Yeah.
That is the first world's, or not the first world's, but like, that is one of the craziest stat lines that, like, putting. I mean, if you. This is
where we get to say drive for show. Yeah, this is where we get to actually say drive for show FPO division, right? Like a lot of times the FPO winner is usually just lacing fairways, crushing the disc, kind of making all their upshots and putting the disc close. And then the tournaments that we've seen Evelina win in the past, she's usually having a pretty damn good putting day for what we would say Evelina standards. But yeah, but
if 37 is putts, accurate, like yeah, she would have smoked the field. She just needs to make like it's just crazy that that's where our sport is now. That there's been so many stories that where Evelina would have crushed the field if she just made half her putts or something like that. It's just crazy that that's where we're at.
And just kind of looking at final round stats with it. Henna was 2 for 8 circle 1X, 0 for 1 in circle 2. So was getting the disc there, but wasn't making the putts.
Nope.
Evelina, it's kind of even crazier. She had 16 circle 1 putts, only made 8 of them, so 50% on it. And she was 0 for 5 circle 2 putts. I mean, yeah, this was she needed to make her putts. Even making 8 of those, it doesn't put her into the playoff contention, but I mean, that's just the final round in and of itself. Now talking about the whole tournament, if those numbers are accurate, which I'm sure they are, it's pretty, I don't want to say brutal because that's kind of a harsh word, but it's pretty brutal when you look at it like that. That's kind of a tough pill to swallow.
By like 10 strokes. That's what kind of like disappoints me. It's like, these players are some of Evelina and Henna are some of the best throwers we have in the sport. Like they could, set the sport to new boundaries. Kind of like what Kristin did last year, where she won, and then it really pushed the field. And I think we're seeing like that this year. Like obviously Kristin's struggling, but a lot of other players have like pushed themselves like to try and beat Kristin, and now it's gone better for the game. Like it's just like disappointing to me personally seeing them miss all those putts because of just like I want to see the best possible disc golf, and they are giving it to us. That's the thing. They are like throwing's like a majority of the battle. I guess not for them, but like throwing, like getting it there, and they're doing that. They're doing lines. It just hurts my heart when Evelina on hole 18 has a 9-footer for tap in. The drone's up at the end of worlds, and she airballs it. It's like, man, it's like I don't know. It hurts me. It's like why? I understand the yips and everything, but man, like if they can just lock on that putting, at least like get somewhat good, it's gonna be a different
ball game for them. Yeah. Oh, 100%. Speaking of putting, Aaron Gossage, we haven't talked about him too much this year. He hasn't really been in contention a ton, but this was by far the best putting performance and the most confidence putting performance I've ever seen out of Goose. Changed up the style of his putt for a little bit. He's keeping 2 hands on the disc a little bit longer. And he's just very, very direct at it. He's a very animated player. He makes a big putt. He's fist bumping, and he just rode that wave all the way through those last couple of rounds, shooting a 1091 final round. Only losing worlds by 1 stroke. And this is once again kind of he was right there back in 2022. Obviously went to the playoff with Paul over at Emporia Country Club. And it was just a great performance from Goose. Ezra Aderhold obviously having a great performance. Top 4. Sullivan Tipton ending up in 5th. AB in 5th. Adam Hammis, Paul Macbeth rounding out your top 10 with Pyra Joutsen. So don't want to butcher it. But we had a little bet. I think Matt had said this on the show last week or was just saying it in our chat. I forget. But Isaac Robinson just outside of the top 10. 2 strokes out of it. That was kind of something he was saying. I don't think Isaac's going to get top 10 this year. And that was right on it. So anyways, actually, we forgot to say this earlier, and this kind of made me think of it. Gannon Burr is a team player for Titan Disc Golf, and this show is actually presented by Titan Disc Golf. So make sure you go check out all your disc golf needs over at TitanDiscGolf.com. Dude, I saw some of the sickest world's release discs just with cool stamps. Like one of them was just thinking Athena with the world stamp. Instead of Paul's Athena stamp that he has on all of his stock discs, it had a world's one. I thought that was pretty sweet. It was a cool looking disc, but they actually, Ben, you might be able to harp on this a little bit. They ran an expo at Worlds, and I didn't even know that was happening. Can you elaborate? Do you know the ins and outs?
I don't know the yes. Go first of all. Go shout out TitanDiscGolf.com. Seriously, go check it out. They support the show. They're amazing. Schlebach, Gannon's caddy, his world's caddy, is the owner of Titan Disc Golf. So if you want to support Gannon's caddy, who is part of the reason Gannon won, go buy a Gannon Bird disc at TitanDiscGolf.com. Let's go, G. Yeah, I obviously I've heard about it. They advertised it as the world's biggest disc golf expo. I think we talked about it maybe a few months ago in March because I was in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, probably the reason you didn't really hear about it is because it was the thing they always do in the hockey arena, the Fly Mart. They just named it an expo this year, so it was basically, I don't know.
So they stole your name. And you got to go at them. You got to go at them.
I own the word expo. Yeah. No. But yeah, honestly, it's like kind of like super flattering, honestly, that instead of Fly Mart, these places are now calling them Expos when they were never called Expos before. But I think that's why. I don't think it was like an actual, like what I do is more so like probably more vendors and just a part of Worlds, but it was like what they always do. It wasn't anything different because I don't think you can do that personally. You can't do like a giant expo and Worlds. It's kind of like the expo is just like a part of Worlds, if that makes any sense. So yeah.
Hey, you want to know one thing? And I made a joke about this when Ezra shot his 14 down, but testing over at Worlds. Haven't heard anything about it. No idea if anyone even got tested. No idea if we just made a huge stink about something that realistically wasn't going to happen. But I haven't heard anything. I don't know if anyone's posted about anything. I haven't seen it yet, at least. But yeah, drug testing over at Worlds in 2025. It seems like it may not have happened.
It might have just been scare tactics.
Yeah, who knows?
Just like
it did scare a lot of people. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, it created conversation for us for a while. So yeah, I mean, didn't really hear much about it, but all in all, I mean, incredible World Championships. Awesome to watch. 2 incredible courses. Awesome play throughout both divisions. It was definitely exciting. It kind of feels weird that Worlds is already over, and now we're kind of looking at, DGPT championships and USDGC. We have the playoff events coming up. We've got a few more big Disc Golf Pro Tour events coming up. But it's kind of where, middle of the season, the World Championships, we just crowned 2 new world champions. PDGA page is already, changed to their picture on it.
It is?
And yeah. Yep.
That's funny.
And yeah, so
that is so funny too, Owen and Gannon. That is the juxtaposition of that tall 20-year-old and then just tiny,
more of a petite 45-year-old.
Yeah, 45-year-old. Yeah. But honestly, credit to Owen. Like what, she started playing disc golf like in her 30s or something like that. Like I feel like we always write her off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think it's rightfully so. I think there are better players than Owen. Obviously, like she will win an event where you don't expect it. That's just because like she's good enough to win, but it's not going to be day in day out dominant. It's going to be kind of like someone struggles or something like that. The thing is, she is consistent. She is always going to shoot the 3 down, 4 down, make all her putts. And if people are messing up, you better watch out because Owen is going to be right there every time, super consistent. And yeah, I just want to give my props to her for a 45-year-old winning FPO Worlds. Like what a esteemed career. I feel like we don't give Owen enough credit, and now that she's a world champion, I mean, we got to give her all the credit in the world for
just one time.
Like, what a career. Like she could retire and it's like Hall of Fame career. Like I know disc golf's small,
she made her mark on
disc
golf.
Like, yeah, it's like she has a better career than a lot of really great players that we talk about more than Owen, if that makes sense. She's sneaky and is awesome.
So just running through our game really quick, pop, drop, lock, just looking at the scores. I had a terrible week.
I don't know what I got.
Matt had an incredible week. Ben, you had a horrible week. I will say that. You were
here's the thing.
minus 35.
Here's the thing. For the first time in my life, I did pop, lock, drop early. I thought for some reason when we recorded 2 weeks before Worlds that Monday, I thought Worlds was that weekend. I don't know why. It was just on my brain for 2 days that Worlds was that weekend. So that Monday, after the show, I put in my pop, drop, lock picks, and the averages were not updated. So I picked E2 Tuominen because he was 14th overall, and I'm thinking, okay, averages were not updated yet. Had no idea. Go into the event, and it's like negative 70 something, and then it's like, and then E2 is like, because he was second after day one, and it's like negative 51. And I'm like, huh? What? It's because I didn't check back again. I thought those are the averages. So I picked on the wrong averages. Like there's nothing I can do about that. It's just like, it is what it is. I hope that didn't happen to any of you. Hopefully not. Yeah. Like, for me, I can say it is what it is because, like, I'm just a co-host. It doesn't really matter. But if it happened to you, then I'm sorry. I don't really know what the solution is there, but... Yeah. That was why I did so bad. I would not have picked E2 at 52 to drop. I picked him at 14.
Hey, there's a lot of players to potentially drop. I mean, my drop, Thomas Gilbert, I think is averaging like 84th, and I actually lost points. I lost 24 points off of Thomas Gilbert, so take it to 100.
Yeah, he does good there.
Yeah, he was supposed to. I was hoping he would, but he did not pop off like I needed him to.
Oh, you dropped.
Yeah.
I thought you said you dropped.
No, I put him as a pop,
and
he did the opposite of popping. He dropped. Matt had an incredible week, 103 points, had 94 points out of Ryan Maughan. So I don't know where Matt's coming up with some of these picks, but man,
he said
knows
the
how to pick
fracture.
them
He was
right
smart
now.
about that because Ryan got a fracture.
Yep. So, and then just scrolling through the whole thing, I don't think, and I did this pretty quickly, I don't think a single person that played last week picked Owen to win it.
Yeah.
And those were just points out there that didn't happen. So definitely caught all of us by surprise, right?
Yeah.
Now Turkish Open coming up next week, I think. That's already what we're looking at. Pop drop Turku. Yeah,
and
Turku Open. Sorry. Yes.
The Turkish Open.
Yeah, so I just saw Turk. And when I was going through pop drop lock, it was like next pick. So Turku Open. That's happening next week. And but realistically, that's kind of like your key points of Worlds, right? It is.
Say it again.
That one is a ratings-based one. That's kind of like the key points of Worlds, right? Like, incredible event, awesome play throughout both fields. Some players shot really, really hot. Some players did not. I mean, we can kind of go through the list of players who we expected to make the final round, who didn't make the final round. You know, we had some DNFs that, you know, we wish didn't happen, but they happened. I mean, we have players like James Conrad, not even, I don't think he made the cut or he didn't cash. Kevin Jones didn't cash. Greg Barsby, Paul Ulibarri, Jeremy Cole, and Cole Montgomery. Our boy Paul Kranz was playing great at the beginning.
Yeah.
Kind of fell off. Harry Chase played bad at the beginning, came back and played pretty well at the end of it to make some cash. Casey White popping off, I think, in the top 30. He was 22nd. So, you know, little Massachusetts blood doing pretty damn well at Worlds, I would say. Being Ricky Wysocki. This was something Ricky was not. Someone was saying this in his practice round. He was saying he's just not confident at Worlds this year, which kind of surprised me. I feel like that would have been a place he would have done pretty well at, but he finished at 32nd, Corver Dahlin 32nd, James Proctor at 31st, and so we had kind of names all over the place. Simon Lizotte in the top 20, he finished at 18th. Chris Dickerson, Ezra Robinson over up in the 14th area, and previous European Open winner Corey Ellis was also tied for 14th. So had people all over the place, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, incredible. I love watching that tournament regardless. If this is the last time we're ever going to see the Beast, it was a phenomenal send-off for it, right? All the people that they had spectating there, people are saying tens of thousands, right? Like 10,000 plus people.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what I've heard.
pretty freaking gnarly. But yeah, all in all, incredible 2025 World Championships.
Bang.
Bang.
Get your pop.
Yeah. Yeah, don't forget to get your pop, drop, lock. I don't really know. So it's kind of a low-key show this week. We, Ben and I talked about it a little bit earlier. We're going to hit the key points of Worlds and then call it a night. I got a class to do. Ben's out camping right now. The other guys are out camping as well. So there's not a ton of kind of banter going around with it. I feel bad. I feel like we just
maybe
minutes,
we can get some stuff from the chat if the chat wants to come.
Pull them up.
Let us know. Maybe we can do a quick answer Q&A, or if any topics you want us to talk about. Yeah, because like I said, just us two. It's just
I'm a little behind on all the. I'm gonna catch up on some chat. I see people talking about the yips, and then Daniel said no, just the typical struggles, but not yips. Is this when we were talking about henna and I was saying yips?
Yes.
Grip yips and putting yips. That makes sense.
Yeah, the grip yip. That everyone saw that putt. That was crazy. Just flew out of her hand. I don't even know how that's possible. But yeah, the mine is mighty powerful. I think I'm at the point now where I'm a little bit of better putter. Personally, I think so. I've been finally hitting C2 putts in tournaments, which is great. But like, I'm starting to realize like I'm at the point where like it is starting. A good majority is starting to be mental, where I start thinking about my putt too much, or like thinking about the miss rather than just like going through like what I've practiced. So, I think that's their issue. They're just like, I'm a terrible putter. This is not going in, and then they throw it up there, and that doesn't go to say, like, people say it's all mental. No, it's not. You can have a terrible putt, and you're not gonna get better at it. It's not all mental. You got to get a certain rhythm down, a certain thing that everyone does. They just do it differently.
AB's Hail Mary in 18. I loved it. I thought it was sick. I really wish he somehow got into an area where he could putt and try to eagle 18. I thought that was awesome. If he parred the hole because he was so far up there. It was pretty easy. He went OB off the tee. Like halfway up the first. Yeah, exactly. So he took one stroke, probably lost him, let's say $500, right? I mean, it was pretty intense to watch, and that kind of crowd. I mean, shoot, that'd be awesome.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So AB's Hail Mary was sick. Ben, are we doing? Let's see. Gonna try to make it to Disc South. Any more expos out on the West Coast, maybe?
No. So Disc East is January 24th and 25th in a new location in Marlboro, which is a massive venue. I just did it bigger in one room. And Disc South on March 7th and 8th in the same venue. So please come check it out. I'm already starting to work on it, and it's going to be awesome. Overthrow Disc Golf is going to be at Disc East. I'm just kidding. I really don't know, but hopefully they were there last year. Pete will be there. Shout out Pete. He's been helping me. Pete, any ideas, guys? Give him the Pete. He's the ideas guy for Disc South. We're going to do something amazing.
Ed Root saying, I heard Owen says she practices at least 200 putts a day. The other woman should follow her advice. Absolutely. Every single woman should follow that advice. And if anything, take it to the next level. Do 250, do 300. Honest to goodness, for the pros, they have stacks of putters, right? For us mere mortals, we may not have stacks. I have my own personal stack that I use when I would practice putting every single day. But it is, honest to goodness, not hard to get 200 putts up a day, especially when this is your full-time job, your full-time career.
Well, Overthrow says that amount of putting doesn't help either, so I'm curious to hear what he has to say about that.
Yeah, I find that
the payouts. That's another good point.
We'll get into payouts. I think that kind of putting the way, like there's good practice and there's bad practice, right? There's just throwing up 200 putts is probably not going to help you out, but for me personally, I've said this to Ben before. I've said this to the podcast before. When I would practice a stupid amount of putting every single day, I stayed at 20 feet and I practiced 20 footers and it turned into what felt like a free throw. So every single time my disc landed within 20 feet, that's a pretty big area around the basket.
Yeah, you were super
I felt confident every single one of them. And then realistically, a 20-footer is not much different than a 25-footer. It's realistically the same mechanics that you may be aiming
Just
an
a
inch or
little
two
more,
higher.
Yeah.
It's not even a little bit more oomph. Realistically, my 20-footers should be going in at 25 feet. You kind of keep moving that back. Now, obviously, when you get to 30, 35, 40, and you start having to using your body a little bit more, that's when it does get different. But for the most part, I think Henna, Evelina, players like that, if they just practice 15, 20-footers and just did that all day, every day, not even move it back, just 15 to 20-footers, a couple hundred putts a day.
Yeah, they could do 10-footers. They would help.
Yeah, I think that would help them out exponentially.
Well, Josh said in the context of yips, so he actually wasn't. So
that's
what he meant. After he followed up, so he meant in the context of yips.
Yes, in the context of yips, 100%. I want to know what the big disagree is now. But while he's typing that out, because I'm genuinely curious now. Payouts: $20,000 at first place, $15,000 at first, or excuse me, $20,000 for MPO, $15,000 for FPO. I think that's pretty awesome. Is that similar to what it's been in years past, or did Isaac win 30,000?
I'm pretty sure Isaac won. I want to say you have to check because if I get off this thing,
yeah, I'm gonna go check it right now.
But I'm pretty sure he did at Vermont. I'm pretty sure 30,000 sounds like.
Yeah, he won 30,000 last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I will say, last year's Vermonts were run by the Ledgestone crew. They,
Vermonts.
They have hella good payouts usually when it's something ran by Ledgestone. They put a lot into it. Yeah, I think the payouts are great. Are we kind of disagreeing about that? And if we are, go ahead and put it in the chat.
I think the payouts, they're just saying they're way less than previous worlds. Like, Isaac winning 30K and Gannon won only 20K. And only comparatively, I think it's just for a world's payout. It's honestly curious. For
not as good as we've seen in the past.
What do you know if the ticketing was free like he's done in the past? I could imagine it was free, right?
That I'm actually completely unaware of. I know. So last year in 2024, when Evelina won Worlds, she won 17,000. So the FPO payouts were pretty darn close, right? It was 15,000 this year to the winner, 17,000 last year.
FPO, pretty much.
So FPO was pretty much the same. Yes, in the MPO division, it did drop down. Let's see, they paid out 83 people in 2024. And what did they pay out this year? And they paid out 79 people this year, which that's with ties and everything. So, yeah. Payouts, I guess you could say, they were less. Reasons being, I'm not 100% sure of. I have no idea how, honestly goodness, I have no idea how all that works with how things get sent to payouts, whether it's from ticket revenue and different things like that.
If it was free, can someone in the chat tell me? Because I know, I'm only saying free because I know that's what he does for European Open. And if there was 10,000 people there, I could imagine he did the same where he just let everyone in for free. Unless there was actually 10,000 people that paid. It was mostly free at the Beast. Okay.
Mostly free at the Beast, yeah.
So it was probably like VIP, like to watch whole. Yeah, okay. Kind of like at every Pro Tour course. There's like a few VIP places to go to holes 6 through 8, and then they come back out to 9 for free. Yeah. In the Monster, you had
which makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which makes sense. At the Monster, you had to have a ticket. Completely makes sense. You're talking about a much tighter course. Definitely more difficult to get that many people out onto it. So that makes sense. You kind of market it that way, right? Kind of going back onto stuff with Overthrow, Josh. Use repetition to groove mechanics that work. You don't want to groove Henna's current putt. I'll totally agree with that. And I know a couple people have said it in the chat already. Like, bad practice, there is such thing as bad practice. Right? Like if you're practicing bad form, it's not going to improve. And I am a very big case in point with that when it comes to all around backhand form. I never learned how to be an explosive player, kind of threw with finesse the whole time. And it was not ever like, I don't have good form. I have okay form and I have form that works, but it was never anything spectacular. Right? And that was something, it's just because I practiced how I was throwing. I very rarely ever broke apart my form to try to fix it. And that was because I was at a point when I was playing, I was doing pretty well locally. I didn't want to break my backhand form because most of the courses that I was playing didn't require that 450 plus feet of distance. Now courses are requiring that more and more and more, but it was also one of the big reasons that I was never a good Pro Tour player, right? I played a good number of Pro Tour events, cashed at a few of them, but it was never a point where I was like making top 20s, making top 30s and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then there's me on the other hand, completely been obsessed about for past 4 months. Hit up Josh actually before the show, talked about it, and I'm 923 rated. So like, there's ebbs and flow. I'm hoping there's another light in the tunnel where I can figure out like my timing better, and get better. But I don't know. There's something to say with just sticking with what you got. Because at least you're 1,000 rated. Yeah. I'm just stuck in Lava Land.
Yeah. Nope. I feel that. That's just disc golf for you, right? You really have to break apart everything if you want to get that much better. I mean, look at what Gannon's done over the past few years. Gannon still studies his own form. Mm-hmm. Gannon really, really did surprise me, actually. In a way, it does surprise me how well he did, obviously winning the World Championships, for how bad some of his throws were. Like, I've never seen Gannon yank something more to the right than he did this past week. I just felt like he was kind of turning over discs, pulling over. He had discs that were flipping up on him when he didn't really need them to be, but that kind of 5 to 10 feet off the right. I mean, the final round, hole 1, he shanked it right, hit one of the trees probably a quarter to halfway down the fairway. Like, it just didn't look perfect. But he also wasn't making any drastic mistakes that, could cost him a lot, right? I mean, the final round didn't have, he bogeyed 17 by rolling OB. And, 17, what a 17th hole. It's not the most difficult one in the world, but watching players take the forehand line, kind of that long forehand or the smooth backhand, and just seeing all the different results with it. Nicholas put it to, 15 feet? Gannon hit close, but then rolled OB. Ended up causing a bogey from it. I think 17 is one of the toughest holes out there. 17, 15 is just ridiculously tough. And then there's the Spikeiser with the little pond. Is that 11? I want to say. Hole 11's another tough one. Like, Gannon absolutely parked it the final round, I think.
Yeah,
like, put it right under the basket.
Literally, it touched the base.
It was touching the base of it, yeah. That's another ridiculously hard hole out there. Those par 3s, they're tough. Yeah. Let's see. Gannon's poor PD 2 flipping now. I'm assuming that's that yellow and red disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's it's about time he hand-me-downs that to someone. Maybe that would be Matt late blocks.
No, it's gonna be mine. I'm gonna put it for auction.
Yeah. Hey, chat, has anyone thrown any of the new Zone SS or Melita? I think it is the new ones. I just got them in the mail a couple days ago.
So it's actually called the Zone SS?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's actually the
I was
Zone
hearing
SS,
it. I just didn't know if people, because everyone, there's been so many times that I heard people are like, this disc is the Zone SS. Like, so many times. So I didn't know. Yes, thank you, Josh, for hearing me out. Everyone thinks I'm crazy for obsessing about form, but I'm trying to increase my ceiling. And I am crazy for obsessing about form. Don't get me wrong, but hopefully. What is that? Melita?
This is the new Zone SS. So I think it's pretty sick. It's got the Testi Lento. I'm not going to try to pronounce it any different way, but I think that's finished for test flight. And then
that's why I was so confused why I said Testalento. I was like, what is that?
Yeah. And then this is the new, I think it's Melita.
Yeah, Melita. I've heard the Melita. I didn't know the Zone SS.
Yeah, so I got those, and then I got 2 of each. So they sent me these, which I'm pretty stoked about. So I'm going to try to get out for a round with them this week and get some testing it. And they also wrote at the bottom, right underneath Paul's name.
Testalento.
Yeah. So the test flight one.
Cool.
I thought that was pretty awesome.
So it's actually what it's going to be called. That's pretty cool.
I guess so.
I like that. Because, dude, I throw zones as a Zone SS. Like, that's one of my go-to discs, a Zone SS, but it's really just a zone that's super beat in. So I'm excited to see if they can get beaten right away. Because some zones I have are not that. And so it's, like, frustrating losing, like, that super beaten zone that's, like, perfect for me, like, to throw a backhand and forehand and then having to get a new one, and it's like a beefcake.
Yeah. I put in actually not too long ago. I put back in a Z Flex. It was one of the OG Get Freakies. Always been a very good zone to me. It just came out of the hand the cleanest. I just put that back in the bag. I haven't played in a while.
I know you got to back. Now you're back locally.
I know.
You should have been at Greater Hartford.
Oh no, I know. I was in the Outer Banks. I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny enough. That's actually when I moved back. That was the one tournament I thought if I could like win a single tournament this year, that would have been it. That'd be awesome to win. You win a sword. Like honestly, if I won that tournament, that sword is going right there, and it's just being yeah. Oh, my whole thing, medieval, everything like that. Yeah, absolutely love it. But Miles Sayer getting his first A-tier win by making like a 50-foot putt on hole 1 in a 4-way playoff between a bunch of just absolute legends nowadays. Yeah, Kyle Moriarty, Wyatt Mahoney, Miles Sayer, and then who was the fourth?
Capaccioli.
Was it Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, just insane for Miles. So shout out to him. Let's see. Par is losing a stroke to the top guys, 100%, especially at courses like that. I think with the Beast, it was kind of like a birdie or die. And then honestly, the Monster felt like a birdie or die the way that Ezra completely obliterated that place in round 2. It felt like a birdie or die, which it's not supposed to be. But man, that was fun to watch.
He did go up 5 strokes, so it wasn't. It was really just. It wasn't like a birdie die per se. It was more so just like he was just crushing the field. Like
Nicholas shot 10 down. Sully shot 6 down. I mean, he beat him by 8 strokes in that one round, and then had a 4-stroke lead going into that.
It was a 4-stroke. Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah, let's see. Is that the only 2? Those are the only 2 double-digit rounds. And then let's see. Round 3, Gossage had an 11 down with an eagle on 16, bogey on 17, but then birdied 18. Sweet finishing hole. I normally am not. I love courses that start with a par 4 and end with a par 4, right? But one of my favorite courses in the world is Brewster Ridge, and it starts with hole 1 is a pretty simplistic par 3, and then hole 18 is now it's a tougher par 3, but it used to be a pretty simplistic par 3. But then you have Fox Run, which is my favorite course of all time. Awesome par 4 to start, incredible finishing hole 18. That's just I love tournaments that start with the par 4 and then end with a par 4. I do love that they ended at the Beast. That was huge in and of itself, obviously for spectators, but then that hole 18 is incredible. Yeah, let's see. I think it says a lot that we had different leaders every day. Yep, we did have different leaders every single day. Calvin the Eagle just arrived and I'm fighting there. Should go out in 100-degree heat to test them out. Hey, it's a perfect time to test them out. Go out and play some disc golf. And relying on C2 putts won't get you a win. It'll save you from bleeding. You still have to make good drives, of course. Yeah, disc golf has turned really into, in the MPO division, you have to be good at throwing the disc in all ways, shape, or form. And putting is obviously huge. Gannon didn't miss really any putts that you kind of would expect him to make, right? Like he made all the putts that he was expected to make. Nicholas missed 1 or 2 putts in there that it's like, you really want to get those back, right? But yeah, in the FPO division, it's literally, Own is sneaky good at just throwing the disc. Great force over forehand, makes majority of the putts that she has. And but she's not a distance player. Like, if anything, out of the top 10, top 20 girls, she's probably the least farthest flying thrower of the disc. And still comes out as a world champion. So FPO definitely surprised me the most out of everything. Just in general. I thought Silva was going to put up a fight for Worlds this year. She didn't really. She was 10 strokes, ended 10 strokes back. Evelina, reigning world champion. Henna, Ella, Anakin, great players. Missy Gannon was someone who I definitely thought these were 2 courses that she's a smooth player, would definitely help her out. Katie Tati finishing in 10th. I thought that was an incredible finish for her. Jen Allen finishing 13th. Valerie Mandajano 16th. Kat Murch had 1 bad round, like really bad round.
Yeah.
She's in 18th, and I think she shot like 18 big, she was saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of like, holy cow. This would have been a good pop week for Madison Ben. She got 28th. I don't know what she's averaging right now, but would have gotten some points with that one.
She averages like in the 30s.
Yeah, okay.
So it would have been like 4 points.
Yeah. But all in all, good old
Ed Root with the hot take. No difference really between Paige Shue winning Worlds and Own. I'm not sure what that means, but
elaborate, Ed. I want to hear more about it.
Maybe that they just got lucky or
curiosity. Could be. Yeah, could be.
I'm not saying
2018
they
Worlds,
did.
man.
I'm
That
just
was,
saying like
yeah.
maybe that's what he's trying to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough money for Big Money Missy to win. That's funny.
If
Literally.
it was $2,000 more, like
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. I think it's definitely a big difference between Own and Paige Shue winning Worlds, and simply just put as like Own is kind of the, I think, outlier right now, right? Like she's the FP40 player who still is just in contention that much. Did I freeze?
No, you're good.
Am I
Oh,
back?
Yeah,
Sorry,
you're back.
I froze on my side. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're
But
good.
Paige doesn't have much distance and great with putter. Yeah, 100%. She doesn't have that much distance and was great with the putter, especially back in the day when she was playing more consistently. She's pregnant now, so I don't know if people knew that, but she's pregnant, which is probably one of the reasons why she didn't go over to Finland for Worlds this year. But yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to scroll through the chat really quick. I'm not really seeing too much to harp on,
Yeah.
and honestly, pretty low key show. I mean, obviously, we want to do a big shebang for Worlds. We are missing 2 of our guys, and life gets hectic, right? So, anyways, we're gonna kind of call it from here. Everybody, go out, play some disc golf while it's summer. Keep enjoying it. Tell someone you love them this week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Thank you, Ben, for helping us run the show tonight. And hey, guys, we'll catch you all in the next one. When the guys are back, we'll definitely have a more upbeat. The Turku Open is going on. Yeah, definitely get your pop drop locks picks in. Shout out Hooligan Discs for that. And once again, shout out Titan Discs for all the support that they've given us throughout the year. So congrats to the new world champions. We'll catch you guys all in the next one.
See you guys later.